Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before I can start decorating a few areas in my home, I realized there are some DIYs that I needed to knock out first. So in today's video, I'm sharing 3 easy, budget-friendly DIYs that I'm using in my home this year. First off is a Santa figurine from Walmart. I love the size and it has so much beautiful texture that's kind of disguised since it is completely white. I decided to use a Rust-Oleum spray paint in the color Espresso as my base coat. I really love this color and it reflects the design aesthetic throughout my home, and of course, feel free to use whatever base color reflects yours. I gave it one light coat of paint. Some areas didn't get full coverage, but that's okay since I'll be layering over it anyways. I wanted the Santa bust to have a lot of dimension and a patina-like finish. If you've ever worked with gold rub and buff before, you know a little bit goes a long way. And it can quickly turn the entire piece into gold if you are not careful. And to avoid that, I mixed antique gold rub and buff with acrylic paint in the color Warm Buff. I started testing the mixture on the back just to make sure I liked the tone. At first, I dabbed the mixture on with a paper towel and wiped it off with another, but it didn't quite give me the look that I wanted, so I switched techniques and I started rubbing it on instead, and that's when it gave me the exact finish that I was going for. I continued rubbing the color on and then wiping it off as much as I could, which really enhanced the gold tones. For the face, I added more antique gold to the mixture and applied it to the high points of his face to bring those details forward. My final step was going in with Grecian Gold Rub and Buff. I used just a tiny bit and lightly brushed it on the high points and the base for added dimension. I absolutely love how he turned out, and I decided to style him on the side table in my living room. I placed him on my Wonderland bug and I added some small rustic bells from Cottage Home to tie everything together. This next project is similar to the last one and a bit simpler. I have a set of ceramic village houses that I purchased years ago, and honestly, I don't think I've ever used them. Just don't love how they looked, and since they were only 5 each, they were a great budget find. Recently, I came across some metal brass houses from Lulu and Georgia that I loved, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to purchase them since I had a set already sitting unused. But they did inspire me to give mine a new look, hoping that I'd finally use them this year. I sprayed each house with the same Espresso Rust-Oleum paint, giving them all one light coat, and I let them cure for a couple hours since I am spray painting glazed ceramic. Then I mixed antique gold and Grecian gold rub and buff together for the perfect shade. I went in with a very heavy hand this time and I covered each house completely. In some spots, a bit of the brown paint peeked through, and I actually really love that effect. For now, I styled them on top of a stack of books, leaving one off the side for variety. But since then, I've placed them inside of my display cabinet, and I'm so glad I decided to give them a new look because I love them so much more now. This next DIY might seem repetitive, and it always makes the biggest difference in my home, and that's rotating seasonal prints. The one I'm using is a digital print from Etsy that I downloaded and printed at my local Walgreens. The size is 24 by 30, and the total cost for this print was $16. To give it a more textured, canvas-like finish, I used the Mod Podge method. For most of the print, I brushed it on evenly, and in the areas where I wanted a little extra texture, I used a stippling motion with my brush to create that effect. Mod Podge does dry fairly quickly, but I actually left mine overnight because of how fast the sun has been setting lately, and I got to it the next day. I'm replacing the artwork in my living room with this piece. I love this particular print for both spring and fall, but I thought the Santa sleigh print was just adorable, and it's a bit more minimal, which I like since it balances all the festive decor that I'll be adding throughout the space. My frame is from frameiteasy.com. It did come with an acrylic screen, but I placed it behind the art because I don't love the glare that it creates when I am filming. I also like to store my previous art behind the new one. That way it stays flat and crease free for future use. I think the print is picking up a bit more gray on camera, but it is pretty beige in person. I like the balance that it's creating in my space. I'm also adding a bow on top of the frame just because I haven't added any festive decor to this space and I felt like it needed. I might remove it in the future once I'm finished decorating, but I wanted to share with you guys how I tie my large bows without wasting any ribbon, and here's how I do it. I started by unrolling a good amount of ribbon without cutting it from the roll. I make my first bow loop, leaving a long piece out, and then using my thumb and my index finger, I hold that first loop in place. With my other hand, I take the long strand and wrap it around my thumb and my index finger, and I use my middle finger to hold that piece in place. And then I take the same strand of ribbon, make my second bow loop, and tuck it where my thumb is holding. Once that is tucked through, I pause and I free my hands. And using my thumb and my index fingers on both hands, I hold each loop securely, and with the rest of my fingers, I hold the strands. And then I pull and tighten all 4 sections. This is where you perfect the bow. Keep pulling and adjusting until you get the shape that you want. Pull and tighten a few times until you get that perfect shape. Once I'm happy with it, then I cut the ribbon from the roll. This method prevents waste and takes away the guessing game of figuring out how much ribbon you need before cutting it. I attached my finished bow to the top of the frame using a command hook. And that completes today's video. I wanted to keep these DIYs in a separate video so they are easy to follow along, and stay tuned for my living room decorating with me. That one's coming up next. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me as much as I enjoyed filming this for you, and I will see you in my next video.